morning.
I don't know what the vote count is.
Uncertainty whether the American Health Care Act will actually pass today, as the House plans on voting on it this evening. The changes moderate Republicans want to see before voting yes.
And it's because of that Medicaid coverage and the long-term care expansion that my son is here today.
I won't lie, the ACA isn't perfect. I am supposed to be in a wheelchair. I don't have one.
And supporters of the Affordable Care Act meeting at the state capitol today. How the Arkansas delegation is expected to vote. Also happening today, Vice President Mike Pence meeting at Little Rock Tours and Travel. The owners, vocal opponents of the Affordable Care Act. What you need to know if you plan on going to the event today.
From the station that's on your side, this is Channel 7 News Daybreak.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for waking up with us on this Friday morning. Elizabeth Armstrong stepped outside the studio. We'll join her in just a couple of minutes. Allison Courtney continuing her vacation. But thanks for joining us this morning as what is set to be a nice start to the day.
Right.
And not so nice end.
Exactly. And I think a little cloudy during the day and windy too.
Yeah.
So maybe not as nice as yesterday, but you're right. It's the end that's going to be stormy for us. So here's the latest from the Storm Prediction Center. Brand new data showing not much change in that severe risk map. So it's good that we haven't been upgraded. We haven't been downgraded either, except for far eastern Arkansas, which was included in this yesterday. And this may be reconfigured even later on today as we get into the afternoon hours. But the slight risk category, obviously on the low end of slight, enhanced, moderate, and high. And we still think gusty winds tonight is going to be the biggest problem as these storms head our way. In the meantime, it is going to be kind of cloudy today. The clouds will continue to build. The wind will pick up. So a warm, windy day, and you'll get a little bit of sunshine, but I'm going to say partly sunny to mostly cloudy skies. As you can see, even on satellite and radar now, those clouds increasing. Look to the west. That's what we'll be doing today. And you can see a few showers forming in Oklahoma and down into Texas. And that line will fill in. It will get heavier, and then it will head into Arkansas, especially tonight. But western sections, you may see it late afternoon, and we'll go over that timing in just a little bit. 76 for a high coming up. What time you can expect those storms in your part of the state. Chris?
Thank you, Melinda. Let's take a look at our Crane Automotive Team traffic report this morning. And looking on our map to start things off in Jacksonville this morning on 161. That's just trying to get onto the 167 interstate there. And you can see traffic right now at the light 10 miles an hour, which is pretty typical because that's where we see an early influx of volume at this time of the morning. And folks are just trying to get on to 167 southbound right now. But no other delays on 67 at this time. Here's a live look at a few of our sky cams. 30 River Bridge showing light volume this morning. Here's 630 east and westbound next to Arkansas Children's Hospital. Same story there. And there is the Big Rock Interchange camera showing 430 and 630 working nicely together to start out your Friday morning commute. We'll keep you updated on all of your traffic this morning and make sure you're up to speed before you head out the door. But now we're going to turn our attention to your news. President Donald Trump is threatening to leave Obamacare in place and move on to other issues if a House vote on a Republican replacement health care plan fails today. The outcome of the planned vote is impossible to predict right now. Even after a long day of talks on Thursday, both conservative and moderate lawmakers claim the bill lacked the votes.
I will proudly vote no if the bill continues to be, as it is, bad for America.
I am still a no at this time. I'm desperately trying to get to yes, and I think the president knows that.
At 6:33 this morning, the changes moderate Republicans want to see before voting yes. The news of the delayed vote on the American Health Care Act came as supporters for the Affordable Care Act gathered at the Capitol. Those at the rally both praising and acknowledging its shortcomings with the theme of the evening, Mend It, Don't End It. Channel 7's Matt Mershon was there.
Roughly a few dozen Arkansans showed up at the Capitol Thursday to voice their concerns about potentially losing access to health care benefits through the Affordable Care Act that they've come to rely on.
Without coverage from the Affordable Care Act, I would have been forced to drop out of school and I would have been buried in financial debt.
And it's because of that Medicaid coverage and the long-term care expansion that my son is here today.
Though it was mostly praise for what's commonly referred to as Obamacare, speakers were sure to point out its failures as well.
I won't lie, the ACA isn't perfect. I am supposed to be in a wheelchair. I don't have one. Tens of thousands, depending on the year, in out-of-pocket medical expenses. But this would all be much worse without the ACA.
Aides from 2nd District Congressman French Hill's Little Rock office were present at Thursday's rally, urging constituents to still get in touch with the representative. That's all despite multiple news outlets reporting that the congressman will be a yes vote to repeal and replace Obamacare with the GOP-sponsored American Health Care Act, or Trump Care. Both Congressmen Steve Womack and Bruce Westerman have voiced their support for the repeal and replacement as well. 1st District Representative Rick Crawford is the only House member from Arkansas that plans to vote no when Trump Care heads for a vote in the House on Friday. Matt Mershon, Channel 7 News.
Matt, thank you. Today, Vice President Mike Pence is expected to talk health care and ACA replacement. Channel 7's Elizabeth Armstrong is live at that location with what you need to know about the VP's visit. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Hey, good morning, Chris. The Vice President will be speaking here at Little Rock Tours and Travel, whose owners are vocal opponents against Obamacare. The repeal and replace plan is expected to be voted on in the House today after delaying the vote yesterday. All Democrats are expected to vote against the bill, so it can only lose 22 GOP votes on the floor. At last count, 36 Republicans were working to block the bill in its current form. Pence is expected to meet with a small group for a roundtable before he makes a speech to the public. Ahead of the event, Republicans are saying we readily anticipate welcoming Vice President Pence to Little Rock as Arkansas stands behind the new administration and the work they have begun. Meanwhile, Arkansas Democrats are speaking out against the health care plan, saying here in Arkansas, 300,000 of our neighbors face the imminent threat of losing health care coverage. We hope Governor Hutchinson will remind President Pence of this fact during his visit to our state. Be sure to stick with Channel 7 coming up at 6:30. I'll have details to the speech and a look at how this could affect your day. Chris, back to you.
All right, Elizabeth, thank you. Just to recap, Vice President Pence will be in Little Rock today talking about the American Health Care Act that's going before a vote today in the House. The event open to the public, doors open at noon, and if you are going, you'll have to park at Horace Mann Magnet Middle School, then you'll be shuttled to the event site. The event is scheduled to start at 2:30. We will be there, and we will live stream the VP's speech on our Channel 7 KATV Facebook page. You can also expect a full recap and reaction tonight at 5 and 6. All right, still to come on Daybreak this morning, Dr. Morrissey is here answering your medical questions. One of those, what causes sweaty palms? He'll answer it at 6:23.
And a warm and windy morning already. We'll talk about your day, plus those storms tonight, what time they arrive in your part of the state, and what kinds of severe weather we'll most likely see. That's all next.